Very excited today to show you guys the phenomenal RD-88 from Roland. Ted wants one, I want one, maybe you'll want one at the end of this video.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
And I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We really appreciate your support and we love to interact with you. Ted, the RD-88.
Phenomenal keyboard.
Phenomenal.
I fell in love with it right away.
You really did.
I did. You brought it up. I unboxed it, set it up, and then you disappeared, and I played with it. I thought, does he know what this thing is?
He called me and he was like, wait, come back and play this. Like, it's actually really cool. And so
it's got the navigation on this thing is just beautiful. It's got all the sounds. It's got all your pianos, your electrics, your organs. They're all patched in. Knobs that are multi-purpose that give you EQ. They give you resonance. I mean, you can change the sounds. You can do all different kind of things. It's got drum pattern beat into it. I also see that it's got a microphone input, which I didn't even mess with. But first thing I want to say is this thing plays like a real piano. When I played it before it was even plugged in. Just set the board up and started. Said, this feels like there's hammers hitting the strings, just playing it, not even plugged in, not even turned on.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, if this thing sounds half as good as it plays, it's going to be a great keyboard. It sounds better than it plays. And the sound in here, and it's a very expressive keyboard. I can go on, but there's so many different ways to make a sound out of this thing. And it's not the whole keyboard, just note by note. It's really phenomenal. It's like a real piano.
Yeah, and so that it's got the PHA 4 action, which is now the standard for like the FBX series, the FP30X, the FP60X. Anything basically under $2,000 from Roland is going to have the PHA 4, which is an incredible feeling action. But really it kind of shines when you get some of these great samples going, like the electric piano.
Oh, the electric pianos are, I mean, it's just phenomenal. The sounds are just incredible. I love that it has both a pitch wheel and a mod wheel. Mm-hmm. The nice thing about the modulation wheel is it serves a function on certain sounds.
Depending on the instrument, right?
Depending on the instrument. So for example, let's go with the electric piano. It's a standard Fender Rhodes suitcase. You control your vibrato with the modulation.
Speeds up, slows
down. The depth and the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with your phasers, same thing with your chorus. And when you get to the organ sounds, this is basically your Leslie switch.
Your Leslie controller, yeah.
And it's a spinning Leslie. It's not a Leslie cabinet, it's a spinning Leslie. And it has these little speakers in here which function great as a monitor, great to sit down and play with. It could be a little louder. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing. It could be a little louder, but then the price could be a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So the compromise they have is excellent.
Yeah.
Other thing, it's the first time I noticed a keyboard that has all these listings up here, and it's for all of the outlets in the back. So all you really have to do when it's got 3 or 4 things listed here, and there are 3 different outputs for sound. There's a mono, there's a left and a right, and there's with the headphone. It's right, it matches
corresponds.
Up. Yeah.
How many times have you had to reach back and try to find?
Well, I have to get my reading glasses and look back there, and then there's never light, and it's got to be worse at a gig.
Oh, yeah.
But I wasn't sure, besides wanting one of these immediately to go out and perform with, it's a very light keyboard, easy to pick up, but I thought there shouldn't be any studio that does not have one of these things in it, because you can do so much with it in terms of, if it's an instrument where players come in mm-hmm. and they want to get a string sound, an organ sound, and they don't have any keyboard, they're using whatever you have in your studio, your grand piano and this is a phenomenal keyboard.
Well, yeah,
the sounds are great.
It's a catch-all. It's great, and it was really designed, I feel like, for the musician. It was really thoughtfully designed. You have reference monitors on it that are small but do the job. It's light, easy to move in and out if you're taking it to gigs. It's got 3,000 sounds on it, so that doesn't correspond directly to how many voices are in it, but it's onboard voices, I think, are somewhere over 500, but then you can actually go and create with the 3,000 sounds, go and layer and create different sounds. It's got the supernatural piano engine on it, which is going to be the main control for the piano, and the electric pianos on board. And so what they do with that is they have, they sample their instrument, whether it's a piano or an electric piano, and then they build modulation around it. They put a modeling system on it, and whether you're adjusting let off or adjusting the depth of the string resonance and all that, you can go and individually change those parameters. But the Supernatural engine is what's powering the piano and the electric pianos. As you move on to kind of the other really fun Roland instruments, it switches over to their Zen Core system, which is also really cool because depending on how many Roland products you have, software or hardware, you can go and it kind of speaks the same language. And so if you go and you have a Juno, say, and you build this really cool sound on it, you can get that sound off the Juno with like USB or however you want to get it off of there. If you have the software system, you can pull it off of your computer and you can get it here on your RD-88 and save it as one of your presets, save it in one of your slots, and really kind of be building in the Roland universe. It's kind of cool how they've done this with their more recent products. Is it's like, hey, this all speaks the same language and can do the same things. Really kind of makes it a very versatile instrument that you can kind of grow with, change your sound, change what you're taking to gigs with you, change everything about it. And just really kind of a simple layout. You have a 3-band EQ on board, really easy to navigate. You just click the EQ button and your 3 knobs turn into a low, medium, and high EQ.
Oh, it's really neat.
And then basically every sound has different effects that you can turn on and off. So as you mess with some of the knobs, it goes, on the piano sound, it's stereo wide or stereo narrow. And then as you do it with the phasers and things like that, you can change different effects and different sounds, but just really kind of a simple approach to a stage piano, but so much depth within the simplicity of it.
I just can't believe all the things, all the sounds, the quality of the sounds, the quality of the expression, how the sounds respond to the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think it's one of the best digital keyboards I've ever played, and I've played the best of the best that come through this store. But for the money, it's hard to get anything better than this.
A lot of people are saying, I would have got the RD-88. I bought the RD-2000 years ago. I would have bought this if I knew they were coming out with it. That's high praise for some of those people who love their RD-2000s. But very amazing instrument. Let's go in and listen to it right now. Ted's going to do some demos for us, but let's take a listen to it.
Well, Patrick, through the demo, I think I blew through more sounds on this keyboard than any other demo I've ever done. I still didn't get enough time on it. I still didn't get to do what I wanted to on the demo because it's the first time I had a demo where I really feel like, hey, wait a minute, they're filming me learning this thing and I'm having fun and I'm playing around. It's like, I don't want to be taped right now. I just want to play with the keyboard. And I felt that way the minute we finished doing it because this is a great, great digital piano.
It's really cool, and when I was looking at because I played around with it a little bit too off camera, but it's really neat because it's got everything right in your face that you would use if you were in a gig or if you were recording, and you can split mode. Everything is there, and all the noise isn't there. So like sometimes when you get the portable series from other manufacturers, or if you get a very high level workstation stage piano, like a mix, there's stuff that you don't use. On this, it's almost everything is usable, user-friendly. Turn the speakers on and off, there's a button for that. EQ button right there, transpose button right there, compressor right there.
I'll tell you what's a really neat layout. They did this on a number of their sounds. For example, you go to the organ sounds, and they have the standard things that you're looking for, B3, but then they put the Roland D50 organ sound, which people have been using for 20, 30 years, okay? And then they have the same thing with the strings. You go through your string setting, they got soft strings, these strings, and it says Roland X, or whatever kind of keyboard it is, string sounds. Because some of those are deliberately fishy sounding. So they sound real 70s, 80s.
But people know it.
But people know it, but they're looking for that, that cheesy string in the background sound. So those are in there too, but then the real authentic ones are in there and they just come up in order. It's like Roland on this thing accepts their own past, previous successful sounds as a standard to go through. And I think that's just really cool because they mixed it in with the whirlies, the
and
times,
the new stuff and all the greatest samples.
And there it is, one of their great sounds, that RD sound that they had from like 20, 30 years ago. It comes up in your pianos and all that kind of stuff. It's just
really hard to beat at the price point. $12.99 for the RD-88. Incredible value. We're gonna put it up against some stage pianos once they're back in stock. We're looking at comparing this to some of the other pianos that we do love. Some of those great instruments to take gigging, to take home, to be a studio instrument. Really gonna be hard to beat the RD-88.
I want one that costs twice as much to throw this thing down in front of it.
It would be hard to beat it for twice the money.
I want to see it. I don't think it's possible.
Very high praise from Ted. I also am very amazed with what Roland did. we've had these for a little bit. We never unboxed and really dove in deep. It's always been kind of a favorite in the background, but I'm glad today we did bring it out. We're going to compare it against the Juno RD-88. That's a question that we see a lot online is what are the differences? Which one should I get? I'm just starting, or this is my next step up. And so be on the lookout for that video because we will be comparing this to a very similarly priced Roland, but very different feature set. So we will be looking at both those. But the RD-88, really a home run, I would say, by Roland. Going to be a staple for years to come. The RD series is incredible. People always talk about the RD-2000 as this incredible instrument, but they never want to pony up and spend, however much they are, almost $4,000. But the RD-88 is a great value piece at a $12.99 price point. Very, very enticing. Great features, great layout, really just an amazing instrument. If you've had one, an RD-88, they have been out for about a year. If you have one, if you love it, if there's something you'd change about it, if there's a feature that you use that we didn't cover here, please leave some comments. I know there's plenty of people who would love to see your insight on it, and hopefully it will help them with their journey in finding the right instrument. Again, Ted's going to take this one home because he loves it so much. And I'm Patrick. Thank you guys for watching. We're with Alamo Music, and you can find us online at alamomusic.com. Thanks for watching.